There's a Porsche that has a 444 horsepower twin turbocharged 4.5 litre V8 engine that weighs about 2.3 tonnes and that can still do 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. And it's a Porsche that people are utterly terrified of buying, and for good reason. They're known for being overly complex, hideously expensive to repair, and they absolutely love to chew through their own engines. And that car, of course, is the Porsche Cayenne Turbo. And I just picked this one up for the tiny price of £450. And that's because, well, this one is terrible. And in this video, I'm going to see how bad a £450 Cayenne Turbo really is. Can it be saved? Is this a viable project, or does it actually belong in the scrapyard? It's got about 175,000 miles and has been off the road since 2019. And I bought this because I thought I could kill two birds with one stone. Firstly, I'm on a mission to save as many cool old cars from being scrapped as is humanly possible. And secondly, I've been promising my long-suffering other half, Naomi, a new car for a while now. And there's something you need to know about Naomi. It's simply that without her, this channel would not exist. We were at a car show a few weeks ago and she saw one of these and she said, and I quote, "That's a cool car. I'd quite like one of those." I paid scrap money for this. Is that because it actually does belong in the scrapyard? You should hear the noise this thing makes when it runs. And not only that, what on earth is Naomi going to say when she sees this car? We will answer all of those questions, but first we need to go back to when this car first arrived here because we were faced with some immediate problems.
Well, Nino, it's got a certain patina to it, I think. oh, that might just be a bit of moss, actually. Bonnet catch is broken on it, so yeah, we might have a little bit of fun trying to get this one off. I'm sure it looked like new after a jet wash. But yeah, just to pre-warn you, because obviously we've got to get power to it somehow, so yeah, we'd have to try and get the bonnet up. If not, we'll work out where it's got to go. Ooh, lovely. Smells good, smells fresh, fresh leather.
Here he is.
Sorry, you can see all the stickers on it and everything.
Oh my word.
Yeah, when I spoke to my mate on the way down here, because he's had a few of these, and he said to me, he said the battery's under the passenger seat.
These are those silly triple square bolts. Oh no. No, I mean, that one's as good as rounded, really.
Yeah. If I get in first, I'll climb in the back and hold the seat out of the way.
Right, there you go.
Okay.
Oh no.
You need to reach, hang on. Turn it while you hold it.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Hang on, I'll get my foot on the brake. Go on.
We're running.
We're running. Oh. Wow, well it runs. We just about got under the battery is underneath the passenger seat and we can't get down that side, all the doors were locked. Smoking a bit, but alright, the air compressor died on us, but I'm just going to drive it off, I think, or Wayne's going to drive it off.
Do you want to drive it?
No, not really. It's your trailer as well, so if it falls off, it's on you. You're insured, aren't you, until it gets off the trailer?
Yeah, he said he's going to get off of me, yeah.
Oof.
Half the batteries.
Oh look, it's going up, look, the front's going up here, look. Okay, so first impressions. I'm not going to comment on the outside of this car just yet. It's absolutely horrendous, as we can see. We'll delve into that in a bit. But this car has been sat here idling for about 20 minutes. We've got 0 bars on whatever that is. You can see that it's come up to temperature and it's keeping temperature. You can also see that this screen is just flashing. We've got lights on the dash, which is absolutely to be expected. And we can't get into the bonnet, but I don't know if you can hear this. It's a little bit ticky. But maybe just needs an oil change, who knows? Right, what I'm gonna do, I've got to get in it. Still got no air in the tyres. I'm going to get this pulled down the back there. And of course, the whole time I am wondering, why was this car parked to begin with? Was it that ticking engine? Is there something rather untoward and that's why it was parked up? I've got brakes as well, I can't believe it. All right, take it slow and easy. Please, tyres, don't come off the rims. Please don't come off the rims. Oh. The smell is frightening.
Poor car, what the hell has happened to it?
What the hell has happened to it? It is just sat basically in a puddle, or more likely just a field.
You think?
Well, yes. Well, I know it's been off the road since 2019.
Right, okay, that's not realistically that old.
No, it's not that old, but was it parked because that engine's making a noise, or I don't... The trouble is you never know why it was parked up.
Cap's missing there.
Yeah. The centre cap of the wheel is probably this car's it's the least concern right now. If I'm honest with you, babe. I mean, that battery's surely dead. It won't start again, will it? No. Right, so we need a new battery. What are we saying?
I mean, this is actually all not too bad if you gave this a really good clean.
Ah, so this door does open. Right, so this is what we just had to do. This is what you saw me and Wayne kind of hanging through the door into the car. So the battery for these sits under the passenger seat like this, and so this is how you access it. There were these. God, that is so wet. Can you see all the moisture in there? There's loads and loads of moisture in there. So I imagine just maybe the drains are blocked. There were these bolts in there going down into there. This one got a bit stuck, but I got my trusty bolt removers. I love these things. That got us out of any grief because I basically rounded the nut off. Anyway, yeah, we pulled that back, hooked up a jump pack, and then the car just started. But yeah, look, it's pumped itself up on the old air suspension just right, just fine all the way around. But yeah, this is, if you couldn't tell, this is actually a black car, and the mould and the growth is just extraordinary. This is by far the worst car.
I want to clean this.
You want to clean it?
Oh.
Be my guest.
Can you imagine the before and after of this car? It's going to be insane.
It'll be a big contrast.
I don't actually want to clean it though.
No, well, if anyone who's watching this channel for any amount of time knows that I certainly don't want to clean it. But I think I'm going to have to, aren't I?
Nino, you haven't bought this for me, have you? Because I mentioned about them at the car show the other day. You haven't, have you?
No.
With mould written on the front.
Now, let's just nip something straight in the bud, because I know a load of you are thinking it. You mean to tell me that you love your missus so much, this is the car you're going to buy her? Yes. She's a good sport. But not only that, we actually tried to do everything we can to avoid buying anything on finance. And I don't know if you've seen the price of new cars recently. So older, dilapidated cars that are made nice, it's kind of our thing. So she's along for the ride, believe you me. Now, one thing to note is that after I parked this car up here, after about just a couple of hours, the car sank all the way back down onto its bump stops. I think the very first thing I want to do is I do need to get into the bonnet. I want to have a look inside there. Now, the handle for the bonnet release is snapped off. I've just been Googling, and it does look as though you can get into the bonnet via an emergency release accessed through this the wheel arch. Oh my word, I can see it. But how on earth am I going to get that? Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Come on. Yeah. Did that work? Oh, it's stuck, that's why. because it's been sitting for so long. Oh, result. Oh wow, nature has really tried to reclaim this car in a very small amount of time. Look at it, it's just absolutely abysmal. I don't know if this thing was parked in the ocean, or certainly it's got to have been parked in a field or under a tree, hasn't it? Not great, but here is the beating heart of the beast. But of course, it's not actually beating that well at all. Some of these cobwebs, look. Yeah, I know I've already had this car running, but there is, we're just above the minimum line. Doesn't smell of fuel, just smells of old oil. Okay, so now that we have got the bonnet open, what I want to do is put this car back down on the ground and I want to start the engine again. What I want to do is I want to try and see if the noise, that ticking noise, is coming from up high on the engine or down low. Now, one of the things you need to know about me and the way I buy cars for this channel is I don't research any car before I buy them. I'm not interested in their common pitfalls. It doesn't bother me. If I was to start doing all of that sort of stuff, I'd never buy a car. The fun for me is just buying a cool car that I like, which this is one of them, and then just working out what might have gone wrong. Then when I buy them, I do the research. And here's what you need to know about these engines, is that they really do have a habit of eating themselves. And what I mean by that is the cylinder walls on these engines, they suffer really bad from something called bore scoring. I'll put a photo on the screen of one of these that do it. Apparently the 911 engines also do the same. It's a completely different engine. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Oh, that's great. That's just brilliant, brilliant news. So I've got one of these NOCO packs. They are actually quite good, but where they're absolutely useless is when your battery is flatter than flat, you know, when the battery is absolutely just done for. These things never work, and I just discharged this entire thing in about 30 seconds. So now I've got no way of starting this car without a new battery. And you know what this means? This means I'm gonna have to call Loopy Lou.
This is not a day for me to be on camera, Nino.
You know.
No, Nino, I've got 2-day hangover and it's so bad.
No, come on, I need you.
No, look at me, hang on. It's so bad.
How have you got a 2-day hangover?
Because I drank way too much, so it's affected me that bad.
What did you do? Where did you go?
Just went out, Georgia was there and it just...
Spiraled.
Yeah, basically.
Battery. But do not say a silly price, because I can't. They're massive. I've just looked at it, it's ginormous, and it looks expensive, so it can't actually be expensive.
Right. Oh, they're not. Oh.
Do you remember when Dad had one of these?
Yeah, I liked it, to be fair.
Yeah, it was a cool car. Headlights are a bit iffy, but fried eggs.
I actually like it. So.
Don't.
Currently £194.93.
£194?
But
No, come on.
stop, it's an AGM battery.
AGM? No, this hasn't got stop start, is it?
No, but it doesn't have to.
No?
Oh, get with it. I just taught you something.
You might have done. So you can get that to me for under £100, can't you?
I think it's 144.
144 quid? Plus VAT?
No.
That's including VAT?
120 plus that.
120 plus VAT. Oh, I've got no choice, have I? Alright, you need to get yourself an early night. You look absolutely terrible still.
Yeah, I know. I know, trust me. And I am.
Alright, have a lovely day, I'll see you later.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, well that's an extortionate amount of money, but I can't get that to me until tomorrow. It's quite late now. They're not doing another delivery run. So, what do I do in the meantime? I think we all know the answer to that, don't we? This car needs a clean. Right, so this is just going to be a basic wash. This isn't going to be detailed to the nth degree. This isn't WD detailing. I just want to get as much of this junk off as possible just to see what is lurking underneath all of this dirt. I'll do the interior a little bit later, not right now. A nozzle update. I think I've found a better nozzle. Maybe not. It's adjustable. Come on! Come on! You can do it! Come on! Come on! Come on! Yes! Oh my word, that took so unbelievably long. I mean, it's actually getting dark now. So she's come up quite nice, relatively nice. I'm not going to dry this car, it's about to rain in a minute. This car needs at least 3 more washes. There's just every time you go over it again, you get more dirt out of some of the creases, but it does look a lot better now. And I'm not going any further than that, of course, because I genuinely still don't know if this car is going to go to the scrap yard, so there's no point doing any more clean on the outside. But that is actually quite satisfying, even though I do always moan about cleaning cars. Now what I need to do is wait until these parts come tomorrow morning, hopefully bright and early, and we'll get back onto the engine problems. Right, it is the next day. I've got my new battery, massive great thing. I'm just going to try and fit this in here now. And it's amazing how with just a basic wash this car has gone from looking like a complete basket case to, well, just being a bit of an undercover basket case. Oh, yep. Oh. Right, go on. Right, with the negative attached, you hear all the buzzing and the beeping. So that's a good start. Okay, and then straight away on startup, you can hear that ticking. It's low down. Oh no, it's a low down noise. Oh, absolutely a low down noise. It's not even. Right, so what I want to do now is I just want to shut the doors and have the air suspension come up just to get the car off the ground a bit. And then, you know, when I said that this gauge, this pressure gauge, wasn't doing anything the other day, well, I found out that that's actually the turbo boost gauge, and it's still reading zeros. 0 when I rev it, so I'm assuming there's no turbo boost. Whether that's a disconnected hose or something like that, I don't know.
That doesn't sound healthy.
It doesn't sound healthy, and it's a low down tick, so what I think it is, judging just by what I've researched online, is bore scoring. Can you hear it louder, can't you?
I think so, I don't know. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's much louder down there.
Yeah. I'm assuming that engines don't come up very often.
There's one on eBay for £2.5 grand.
Stop.
There is something I can do, and that is we can take the spark plugs out and then get a camera. I'm going to put a camera down each of the spark plug holes, and then if the scoring is really bad, we should be able to see the scoring in the cylinder walls.
Yeah.
Now apparently you're supposed to go from underneath, you're supposed to take the sump off because the scoring starts from the bottom, but if it's really bad you can still see it from the top. Because I don't really want to get under this car right now, I can't be bothered taking the sump off. I want to go through the spark plug holes first and see if we can see anything.
Well, go on then, get cracking.
Bye. The cheek of it. Right, so I've just pulled a spark plug out on that passenger side over there, just one. I've never seen a spark plug look like this before. Look at that, it's like encrusted with stuff. That couldn't even have been firing, surely. Look at it. Okay, so it's about half an hour later. I just popped to see my good friends at Torque Monkey. They're an actual garage, and they've lent me, not an oscilloscope, the boroscope. Boroscope or borescope? Boroscope. I've just put the camera down into the last cylinder on this side. So this is what we can see inside the cylinder. Now, where you need to focus your eyes is in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen there. You see those lines travelling kind of up and down. That's scoring in the wall of the cylinder, but it gets way worse. Look what happens when I turn the camera around. That at the bottom of the screen, at the almost 6 o'clock position, that looks to me like pitting, which is basically massive great holes in the cylinder wall. So I think we can deduce from that this engine is toast, completely toast. Deep pitting in the cylinder walls, scoring until your heart's content. Now I have just pulled out the plugs on this other bank as well, and I'll tell you what, actually they're nowhere near as bad as the other side, not even in the same realm. Focus, focus. There you go, there's one. That's not too bad actually. Here's another, also not too bad. They're not amazing, but they don't have barnacles on it like the ones on this side. Now I had to give the fancy camera tool back to Torque Monkey. They had a customer car that they needed to hook it up to, so I'm not going to be able to inspect this side, but like, you know, let's just assume that this side is suffering as well. And it almost doesn't matter, because if there's just one cylinder that's suffering, the whole engine is pretty much toast still. So I don't need to put a camera down there. But what I am going to do now is I'm just going to go just a little bit further, and I'm going to compression test the engine. I think that would be just an interesting thing to do. So it just absolutely has to be the case that ticking that we're hearing, it has to be piston slap, right? It just has to be piston slap. The piston's moving around a little bit. So I've got my compression tester here. It's absolutely filthy. I'm going to put this in each of the cylinders. We'll crank the engine over and we'll see what values we get. Right, so all of the spark plugs are out. I've pulled out the fuses for the fuel pump because we don't want fuel being injected into the engine while we're doing this. Well, that's it, go on, that's it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This front, I don't know if this is number one, that's coming back with 130 PSI on the nose. That seems quite low. Let me just, I didn't even check the figures. Let's have a look. It's not good news. The engine is what we call toast, basically.
Right, okay. You can't salvage it?
No, you can't salvage it. This one's got 100 PSI.
I have no idea what
Do
that
it.
means.
It's just a compression test. I'll put the camera down in the bores, and it's damaged.
Yeah, what? Beyond repair?
Beyond a simple repair.
It actually come up pretty good, the car.
Yeah.
Like, actually, with a good old clean, it would be alright.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's reliable these days.
I saw that out of the corner of my eye.
How did you get hold of that? How did you get? It just went in my toolbox.
I got the smallest screw.
Just went in my toolbox and got a screw.
Oh my god, that was nearly in his mouth.
You rascal. You walking.
Not the tyres! Oh my gosh! Grubby boy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's got quick wipe his
What's
hand.
that? What is that, you grubby boy?
Hang on. Do not get that
I
on his
can't.
top.
Oh no! Look, quick!
no,
Oh no!
just
Quick! My hands! I can't. Look, it's oil. You've got. Where did you get that from?
The tyre.
Why did you touch
rim.
that? Oh no!
Oh no! I know that you want.
Oh, what was that? That's your hair. That's your hair touching my head.
No, don't touch it. Go away from him. Right, we're leaving. Come on. We're leaving.
Oh, it's chaos. Okay, I have the results. So just as a note, I checked the cylinder numbering and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, the two trouble cylinders that I could see with the camera are numbers 5 and 7 on this side. They were the two really bad ones. And what do you know? When you see the actual results, cylinders 6 and 7, 105 psi and 100 psi. That's really low. Now I did just look it up, and because of course this car is the turbo, you actually have lower compression. That's just how a turbo engine works. So 125 psi, I do believe for this engine, is actually a decent figure. So you can see the cylinder numbers there. So that's okay, that's okay. It's just about okay. 4 is good. So that's all of those are on this bank, on this side. And so number 5 is the front cylinder on the other bank. That looks okay. Yeah, but look, 6 and 7, 105 and 100 psi. There are all sorts of variables that go into getting a reliable compression test. They're not wildly accurate. A leak down test would be a lot better. It does give you a strong indication of what's going on, and that compression test really does tally to what we saw with the camera. So now I've done that, I just need to gather my thoughts for a second and formulate a plan as to where I go from here. So been having a little bit of a plan, think about what to do. Just had some lovely lunch. Life is good, working from home. We've got some chemtrails up there, that's good. Got a coffee, the lad's down for a nap. And I'm just wondering what to do with this Cayenne. So you can rebuild these engines, so that's certainly a way to go with it. But what I want to do is I'm trying to just analyse the project as a whole. And so what I've done is I've just booked the car in for an MOT. If you're from outside the UK, an MOT is our annual government roadworthiness inspection, and it's really quite thorough. And because the car drives, and there are lots of people online saying, you know, their car was making the knocking noise with the same symptoms, you know, for quite a few thousand more miles. So I'm quietly confident that I can drive it from here the few miles to the test centre, and then assess the whole thing from there, really.
Have you checked the last MOT? What came up?
Yeah, I think the MOT history on it is not actually that bad.
Oh right, okay.
Not actually that bad, but it's been sat in the ocean since 2019. So you'd be amazed at how bad a car can get sitting that long,
being neglected.
as wet as that car is as well.
What a shame.
Yeah, but like I said, I promised you, I'm going to get you a Cayenne. You're going to, at the end of all of this, I think there's going to be a series of videos here. You're going to have a Cayenne at the end of it.
I'm going to get you a car, whether it works or not is the question. I can't guarantee it will.
Right, so I need to get the car ready now for its inspection. So obviously we need air in the tyres. And those brakes, what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to drive it up and down the driveway a good few times and just see if I can just get them to clean up just a little bit. I mean, how many times am I going to have to do this to sort these brakes out? 100,000 times? The engine's trash, so I'm not worried about the old oil. I don't want to be spending money now on a car that could go to the scrapyard. And then it's just not fair to have the garage, the guys from the garage, sit inside this car. So I need to clean it somewhat, get all of that mould out.
Make sure you wear a mask.
I will wear a mask, I promise. So rubbing down all of this Alcantara with white wine with white vinegar is either going to go really well or really badly. I don't know if it's going to mark it and destroy it, or, you know, stain it, but it's caked in mould, so it's got to be done. So if I destroy it, I destroy it, and I'll cut it out and do a new one. If not, then not, if you know what I mean. That is the entire car, absolutely hosed in white vinegar. So I've sprayed it into all of the carpets and everything, kind of brushed off what I can see, and then just left it sitting there really. So I've replaced that very, very strong mould smell now with just pure vinegar, which is delightful. Wiped down all of the plastic. God, the smell coming out of this car, that is strong. All of the plastics I've wiped down. Now I'll show you the roof liner. Now bear in mind it is still wet, or patchy wet, as you can see, but the majority of that mould, the surface mould there, has actually come off, and you can see obviously we've got a bit of a saggy headliner at the back, but that's actually come out. I mean, if you saw it how it was before, that's really, really not too bad. So all in all, pretty good. I'm just going to leave the doors open now, let it air out. Hello mate. Let it air out, and then that passenger rear door won't open, so that's great. So I've got these doors open, letting it air out as much as possible. And then I'm going to fit my spark plugs, which have just arrived. Morning mate.
Morning.
How you doing?
Fine.
Lovely stuff, thanks a lot mate.
All right.
Cheers. I bought 8, but if I'm completely honest with you, I'm probably just going to fit 4 in that other bank, just to see how we get on with that, because I don't want to be using spark plugs that I don't necessarily need. But those 4 on that far side, they're awful. Cylinders 5, 6, 7 and 8. And then we'll see how it treats us, and then I'll be able to send the ones that I don't use back and get a bit of money back. Just look at the difference, look, between these two spark plugs, the new one and the old one. Stark contrast. Okay, right. Vinegar. It smells of vinegar. I do hope this has changed something. I really do just hope it's changed something. I don't know what I was thinking of saying next. So obviously I wasn't expecting it to change the ticking. Just trying to get it to run less rough. Unsurprisingly, that has made it run a little bit better. For sure. For absolutely sure. Doesn't sound like it's even... Doesn't even sound like it's missing anymore. It's just tick, 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 ticking away. Okay, so things are looking much better now. I've been underneath the car, it's not leaking any fluids, no fuel, no coolant, no oil. That's all good. So I think the thing to do now is to take this car for its inspection. There we go, so it's shifting, second, third. Brakes are all good. Just going to take it really nice and easy. There's no rush, no need to rush. So it steers okay. I can't hear any rattles from the suspension. There's no clunking. There's no squealing. Just seems to be that ticking from the engine and the rough running. Temperature's coming up nicely. Still haven't got any boost on the gauge. One thing I'm not doing is putting my foot down in this car and testing to see if we have 444 horsepower. That would just be silly. Okay, and we're here. Very little drama. Just how I wanted it. So you would have recognised these guys from any of my past videos before. Chelmer Auto Repair Services. I like those guys handling as many of my MOTs as is possible. Right, so I have the results, but the car's just pumping itself up on battery power, which I imagine is doing that battery wonders. Oh no, don't do that. Is that supposed to happen? Right, so this is just one of those things where you almost can't believe it. It did fail. It did fail. We've got quite a long list, but it's only one page. But this car's just not as bad as you think it is. It's just not as bad as you think it is. Bearing in mind how this car turned up to me. So we do have one thing on here that is do not drive until repaired, which is a dangerous defect. And you know the passenger seat with the battery underneath it. Remember at the start of the video where I stripped the bolt out trying to remove it? Come in here, I only put one of the bolts holding the seat down in finger tight. It's missing a whole bolt, so the seat's a little bit wobbly. That's the only dangerous defect this car has. The passenger seat is insecure. And then in terms of major defects, so out of this list, it's only actually these things here that are keeping the car from being road legal. Let's just run through them really quickly. The passenger seat belt doesn't retract properly. The windscreen wipers not working, but actually I just had a good old play around with the stalk and they came back to life. The windscreen wipers now work, so that can come off of the list, to be honest with you. This headlamp is not working and it's a little bit loose, kind of. That passenger door on the rear can't be opened from the outside. And it failed its emissions. I mean, I don't think any of us would be surprised, but it only just failed its emissions. And John, the tester, thinks it might just have a bit of an exhaust leak. What is happening here? And then the tyre on the passenger side front, there's a cut in it, and then the ABS light is on, but the ABS light comes on and off. They're the only things keeping this car from being road legal. It almost passed its emissions. How? I just don't understand it. Even the brakes are just an advisory. It just says here, the brake discs are worn, pitted or scored, but not seriously weakened. It passed the braking test just fine. Now look, when this car first turned up to me at the beginning of this video, and I turned the engine on, I genuinely thought, that's it, it's going to be a scrap car with all that moss on it. I thought there's just absolutely no way. But now, looking at this list, the whole point of this channel is that I save cars from being scrapped. I know it needs a new engine, but to me, this car's too good to be scrapped, and I now feel the urge to have to revive this thing. We don't even have lights on the dash. There's no engine light on. I haven't scanned the car. I haven't felt the need to be honest with you. It needs a new engine, but I might just keep an eye out on eBay for one. Or would you like to see me pull this engine out and we'll do a deep dive into the engine, a bit of a tear down, and see how bad it really is? And you know what? I've never learned how to rebuild engines. Now might be the perfect time. Maybe Naomi will get her Cayenne after all. I mean, the bodywork's fine, really. It's fine. I've had way worse cars, way worse. John, the tester, he said the underside of this car is no more rusty than any other UK car of this age. This thing wants to live. It wants to live. And I think I might have to give her that chance. See you soon. Oh. That's good. Fine. What an idiot.